Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In today's video we're going to learn how to shorten URLs using Bitly and Airtable. So I am an owner of a business and I've created some template documents which I want to create a record of with the help of Airtable. So here my objective is that whenever I'm going to add the details of any template documents in my Airtable with the title of the document as well as the URL of the document, automatically with the help of Bitly, a shortened URL of the same URL that we have created a record of in our Airtable should be created. And as soon as a shortened URL is created with the help of Bitly, automatically the shortened URL should be updated in our Airtable record. For that, what we are going to do is we're going to simply create an automation between Airtable and Bitly with the help of Pabbly Connect. So if you want to learn how to do this automation, then let me take you all to my screen. In this video, we're going to learn how to shorten URLs using Bitly and Airtable. So I am an owner of a business and I've created some templates of some documents regarding my business with the help of Google Docs, okay? And I want to create a record of all those template documents in my Airtable so that my team can use them as per their requirement. So my objective is that as soon as I'm going to create a record of any document with the name of the document and the URL in my Airtable, automatically the long URL should be shortened with the help of Bitly and the Airtable record should be updated. For that, what we are going to do is we are going to simply create an automation between Airtable and Bitly with the help of Pabbly Connect. So on the screen you can see the website of Pabbly Connect, that is pabbly.com/connect. After browsing this website, we need to sign in to our Pabbly Connect account. But if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. So as I'm an existing user, I'm going to sign in to my Pabbly Connect account. After signing in, you can see the All Pabbly Apps window in front of you, in which you can see the 5 applications of Pabbly, from which we are going to select Pabbly Connect by clicking on Access Now. Then Pabbly Connect's dashboard is going to appear in front of you. In order to start an automation process in Pabbly Connect, what we have to do is we have to create a workflow. For that, we have to click on this top right corner button right over here that says Create Workflow. Then a new dialog box is going to appear in front of you, which is asking for a workflow name. So I'm going to give a name to my workflow as Shorten URLs using Bitly and Airtable. So this is the name that I want to give to my workflow. If you want, you can give a name to your workflow as per your requirement. Okay, after that it is asking for us to select a folder. On the left side of my screen you can see I've created multiple folders in my Pabbly Connect account, from which I'm going to select Bitly Automations as the folder I want to save this workflow in. So after giving a name to our workflow and then selecting a folder, we are going to click on Create in order to create a workflow. A workflow is created in the name of Shorten URLs using Bitly and Airtable, and there are 2 windows in front of you. One over here says Trigger and over here it says Action. Trigger and Action are the 2 most important steps of our automation process because our Pabbly Connect depends on these 2 concepts, okay? Over here Trigger says when this happens and Action says do this. That means our action is a response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. Firstly, what we are going to do is we are going to set up our trigger step by clicking on this arrow right over here, and over here it is asking for us to select our trigger application. And for the trigger application, we are going to select it as Airtable. So we are going to select our trigger application as Airtable, and for the trigger event, we are going to select it as New Record. We are selecting a trigger application as Airtable and a trigger event as new record because as soon as you're going to create a new record in your Airtable, automatically Pabbly Connect should capture the response. But if you're not able to receive the response instantly after creating a new record in your Airtable, then don't worry, because over here as you can see it says 10 minutes. That means Airtable is a polling based application. That means in every 10 minutes duration, whenever a new record is created in Airtable, it is going to send the record to Pabbly Connect in this time span, that is 10 minutes right over here. So don't worry if you don't get the response instantly after creating a record in your Airtable. And if you want to make any changes in this polling duration right over here, then you can contact us on Pabbly forum, okay? So after selecting a trigger application and the event, we are going to click on Connect in order to connect Airtable with Pabbly Connect. A new window is then going to appear in front of you, on which you have to click on add new connection. But if you have an existing connection, you can select this option, okay? So after clicking on add new connection, over here it is saying connect with Airtable. We are going to click on connect with Airtable. As soon as you go to click on connect with Airtable, a new window is going to appear in front of you, on which firstly we have to add a base. Okay, so I have created a base in my Airtable in the name of Bitlinks, as you can see right over here. So what we are going to do is, for our base over here, we are going to search for Bitlinks. So I'm going to search for Bitlinks, and for the base I'm going to select it as Bitlinks. Okay, so after selecting the base over here, it is asking for us to give a permission. I'm going to click on allow, as it's a safe process and my data is perfectly safe with Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to click on grant access right over here. As soon as you go to click on grant access over here, you can see the authorization is successful. After the authorization is successful, over here it is asking for us to select a base name and the table. For the base name, we are going to select it as Bitlinks because I have created a base in the name of Bitlinks. And for the table, I'm going to select it as table 1 because I have created a single table in the name of table 1. Okay. And over here in the important note, it is saying that we have to create a field in our Airtable in the name of created with the field type as created time. So I have created a field in the name of created, as you can see right over here, and the field type of this field is, I'm going to show you, is created time. Okay, so it is very important to create a field in the name of created right over in our Airtable, so that Pabbly Connect is only going to capture the response with the field name as created. Okay, so do not forget to add a field in the name of created and the field type as created time. So before clicking on save and send test request right over here, what we are going to do is we are going to create a record in this table right over here. How are we going to create a record? By click on this plus button right over here. Firstly, it is asking for the name. So I have a document in the name of non-disclosure agreement. So this is the template document of which I want to keep a record in my Airtable, so that if my team requires this template, they can use it. So for the name right over here, I'm going to write it as non-disclosure agreement document. So this is the name that I've given to my document right over here. Next, it is asking for the URL. So for the URL, I'm going to copy the link of this document right over here, and I'm going to paste the link in this place of URL right over here. So this is the URL of this document right over here. As soon as you're going to give the name and the URL, the created date and time is going to appear right over here. So as we have successfully created a record in our Airtable, after that we're going to click on save and send test request. As soon as you're going to click on save and send test request, over here you can see a response is captured with the ID of the record right over here. For the field of the URL, you can see this is the same URL that we have pasted on our Airtable right over here. And for the name of the field, it says non-disclosure agreement document with the created time right over here, as you can see. So this means that we successfully set up our trigger step. So after setting up our trigger step, what we want is we want to convert this long URL into a shortened URL with the help of Bitly. So what we are going to do is, for our action application, we are going to select it as Bitly. So I'm going to select my action application as Bitly, and for the action event, I'm going to select it as shorten link. After selecting our action application and the event, I'm going to click on connect in order to connect Bitly with Pabbly Connect. A new window is going to appear, on which we have to click on add new connection. But if you have an existing connection, you can select this option. After clicking on add new connection, over here it says connect with Bitly. We're going to click on it. As soon as you're going to click on connect with Bitly, a new window is going to appear which is asking for access. I'm going to click on allow, as it's a safe process and my data is perfectly safe with Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to click on allow right over here. As you can see that we successfully authorized Bitly with Pabbly Connect. Firstly, over here it is asking for us to select a group. For the group, I'm going to select the group that I've created in my Bitly account. Over here you have to select the group that you have created in your Bitly account. Okay. Next, it is asking for the long URL. Which URL do we want to convert into a shorter one? So as we want to convert this long URL into a shorter one, so for that what we are going to do is, for the field of long URL, what we are going to do is we are going to map the data. What does mapping means? Mapping means inserting data from the previous step. So what we are going to do is we are going to insert the data from the previous step. And how we are going to do that? For that, you have to click on this field. After clicking on this field, over here you can see it says Airtable new record. So this was the previous step of this automation process, as you can see right over here. Now I'm going to click on this arrow right over here. As soon as I'm going to do that, you can see this was the same response that was captured in our previous step. And in the response, you can see over here a URL is provided, and this URL we are going to select select it, and this is the same URL that we have entered into our Airtable. Okay, I'm going to map the data of the URL right over here. As I've mapped the data right over here, what happens is the data has now become dynamic. That means whenever a new response is going to be captured in a previous step, automatically in place of this mapped data, the new data is going to be updated. Okay, so after mapping the data and selecting the group, I'm going to click on save and send test request. As soon as you're going to click on save and send test request, over here response is going to be received, and in the response you can see a link is provided. So if I'm going to copy this link from this response right over here, and I'm going to open this link in a new tab right over here, I'm going to open this link. So this is the same link of the template document that we have created in our Google Docs, and this is the shortened version of the long link that we have provided. As you can see, this is a long link right over here, the long URL, and this is the shortened version of the same URL right over here. So this means that we successfully created a shorter version of the link that we have recorded in our Airtable with the help of Bitly. Now what we have to do is we have to update this long URL right over here in place of that shorter link that we have received in our Pabbly Connect. So how are we going to do that? For that, we have to add another action step by clicking on this button right over here. As soon as you're going to click on this button over here, another action step is going to be added. It is asking for us to choose our action application. For the action application over here, I'm going to select it as Airtable. And as we want to update this link right over here in our Airtable, so what we are going to do is for our action event, we are going to select it as update record. And then we're going to click on connect in order to connect Airtable with Pabbly Connect. And as I have the existing connection, I'm going to select the existing connection. But if you want, you can add a new connection. So I'm going to click on save. As soon as you're going to click on save, Airtable successfully connected with Pabbly Connect. After that, over here it is asking for the base name. I've already told you the base name is going to be bitlinks right over here. Okay. Next, it is asking for the table name. I'm going to select it as table 1 as I've already told you. And next over here it is asking for the record ID. The record ID is the ID of the record that we have created. And every time I'm going to add a new record, the record ID is going to be updated. So what we are going to do is for the place of this record ID, we are not going to write the ID, we are going to map the ID right over here. And how are we going to map the record ID? For that, we have to click on this bracket that says map right over here. As soon as you're going to click on this bracket, over here you can see the existing data is going to appear. So what we are going to do is we are going to erase this existing data, and in place of this record ID, we have received a record ID. In our previous step, we are going to map the ID right over here. So this is the record ID right over here, so I'm going to map this data right over here. So as I mapped the data right over here of the record ID, so whenever a new record ID is going to be created in our Airtable, automatically the ID right over here is going to be updated in place of this mapped data. Okay. As we just want to change the URL in this record where it says name and the URL, I've created two fields in the name of name and the URL. So as we just want to update the URL right over here, so what we are going to do is in place of this URL, we are going to map the data of the shorter link that we have received in a step Bitly shorten link. So I'm going to map the data of the link that we have received in our previous step. So as we just want to update the URL, that's why I've just updated the URL, and I didn't make any changes in the name of my record that I've created in my Airtable. That's why I've just updated the URL right over here. Okay. So as I've filled in all the details, after that I'm going to click on save and send test request. As you can see that after clicking on save and send test request, a response is received, and for the response over here, for the field of URL over here, it says that the link is successfully updated in place of the shortened link. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, as the response is received, I'm going to open my Airtable and I'm going to check whether the long URL is updated into a shorter URL or not. For that, I'm going to open my Airtable, and yes, as you can see right over here in the record that I've created, the URL is successfully updated. If I'm going to open this URL, so this was the same document that we have created a record of, as you can see right over here. So this means that we successfully created an automation with the help of Pabbly Connect between Airtable and Bitly. But now for all of you guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another record in this Airtable that I've created right over here, and I'm going to check whether the URL right over here is updated to a shorter URL with the help of Bitly or not. For that, I'm going to create another record in this table right over here by clicking on this plus button, and I'm going to fill in the details for the name and the URL right over here. So I'm going to fill in the details over here as As you can see that I have created a new record in my Airtable for the document name as promotion letter, and for the URL over here I have pasted the URL of the document. As you can see, this is the promotion letter, and I have copied the URL from here and I have pasted it in my Airtable right over here. So after 10 minutes I'm going to check whether this URL right over here is updated to a shorter URL of this document or not. After 10 minutes, because as I've already told you, Airtable is a polling based application. It is going to take at least 10 minutes to share the new data to Pabbly Connect. So after 10 minutes, I'm going to check whether this URL right over here is converted into a shortened URL or not. So I'm going to wait till 10 minutes. So after waiting for 10 minutes, as you can see right over here, the URL is successfully updated into a shortened URL. So if I'm going to open this URL right over here, so as you can see, this is the same promotion letter document that we have created in our Google Docs. So this means that we successfully created an automation between Airtable and Bitly with the help of Pabbly Connect. So now to sum up till now what we have done, I am an owner of a business and I have created some template documents with the help of Google Docs, of which I am creating a record in my Airtable so that my team can have the document as per their requirement. And my objective is that as soon as I am going to create a record in my Airtable with the name of the document as well as the URL of the document, the long URL that I have created a record of should be converted into a shortened URL with the help of Bitly. And then when a shorter link is created, automatically the URL should be updated in place of the long URL to shorten URL that we have created with the help of Bitly. For that, I have created an automation between Airtable and Bitly with the help of Pabbly Connect. And this is how we create an automation between these two applications. So if you like this video, please do subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment down below if you have any questions or doubts, and please share this video. Not just with these applications, you can create automation with the help of Pabbly Connect between multiple applications. If you have any doubts, you can send us email on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can ask your queries on forum.pabbly.com. If you have any queries regarding the pricing of Pabbly Connect, then you can check out this link. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment down below if you have any questions and doubts, and please share this video, and thank you for watching.